Since its introduction in the mid-20th century, over 9 billion tons of plastic have been produced. And with that, virtually every piece of plastic ever made is still on Earth in some way or another. Almost 2 million plastic bags are used every minute, and 500 million plastic straws every day. This insensible amount of plastic consumption affects each and every one of us, and let me tell you how. Even before doing loads of research on plastic pollution, it wasn't difficult to see the dramatic impact plastic has on our environment. Walking around downtown at our beautiful riverfront park, you can see garbage littered along the river shore and in the crevices of rocks under the bridges. This isn't unique to our city either. You may have seen recent newscasts of giant plastic islands in the oceans, or plastic lining beach shores in California and even across the world in Taiwan. The simple fact of the matter is, plastic pollution is harming our environment one straw at a time. This ever-growing problem of plastic pollution is caused by the promise to recycle. Large plastic-producing and even consuming companies use the promise to recycle in order to continue the production of plastic. They tell consumers that the reasonable solution to our plastic problem is recycling. This seems all fine and dandy until you take a look at the hard facts. Post-consumer plastic recycling in the US is generally economically impractical. This is because a frantically growing number of plastic products that we use every day, like the cups and lids from fast food companies, are actually not recyclable. According to Jan Dell from the Plastic Pollution Coalition, about 6 times more post-consumer plastic waste is burned in the US than is actually recycled. Approximately 91% of plastic waste is not recycled worldwide. And if you know anything about the synthetic materials makeup, plastic is not biodegradable, meaning it will stick around for hundreds upon hundreds of years. What is even worse about plastic is its tendency to break down into teeny tiny microfragments, making it difficult to see and recycle. Much of this plastic that should be recycled actually ends up in our oceans. In fact, of the 260 million tons of plastic the world produces each year, about 10% ends up in the ocean. Now, 10% might not seem like a tremendous amount, but when you add it up over the years with an exponential growth rate, the numbers are massive. Just think, there's enough plastic in our oceans to create 5 separate ocean gyres. An ocean gyre is a large system of circular ocean currents which are formed by global wind patterns and forces created by Earth's rotation. The Great Pacific Ocean Gyre covers an area of the ocean the size of Texas, and approximately 87,000 tons of plastic are currently floating in it. There is even more garbage piled up under these swirling vortexes because scientists recently discovered that about 70% of marine debris is actually below the surface. About 80% of the debris in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch comes from North America and Asia. Trash from the coast of North America takes about 6 years to reach the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, while trash from Asia takes only 1 year. The other 20% of debris in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch comes from boaters, offshore oil rigs, and large cargo ships that dump or lose debris directly in the water. The majority of this debris, about 79,000 tons, consists of fishing nets. In the oceans and on the shore, plastic is harming important wildlife. Animals mistake plastic on the ground for food because of its likeness in color, size, or shape, and at least 267 different animal species are known to have suffered from entanglement and ingestion of plastic debris. According to Claire Le Guem, plastic debris kills an estimated 100,000 marine animals yearly, as well as millions of birds and fish. Birds and other animals are often found dead on the shore with plastic filling their stomachs. At times, these animals are even decomposed, and the only thing left is a plastic bunch where their stomach should be. Not only are animals dying from ingesting the plastic, they are also getting entangled and drowned. They can get caught in abandoned plastic fishing nets, which are being discarded more often because of their low cost. Upsetting marine life, the plastic debris can also disrupt important food cycles by blocking sunlight for plankton and algae, which produces their own nutrients from oxygen, light, and carbon. With algae and plankton communities threatened, the entire food web is at risk of change. Other animals who rely on plankton and algae for food will suffer as well. And overall, plastic pollution is harming the environment through companies' shameful promises to recycle and allowing it to take over our oceans as well as kill valuable wildlife. Plastic pollution only becomes increasingly problematic as the production of plastic continues to grow.